Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Let's start off with the dollar. Right now, as we speak, it opened up for the day for tomorrow and made a double top and has backed off. Here's a daily chart, bullish retracement, double top. Let's see if double top holds. Let's take a look at 5-hour. You can see the double top. Weekly so far, looks like we're a little bit bullish as we got higher lows and we're breaking into previous lows. Last line of resistance there at the 13. Looks like it might bust through from the from the higher low. See what happens. Needs to get above this double top over here, which is the last previous high. So I'll keep an eye on it. It looks bullish from here on a weekly. Daily could come down and retrace some, but see what happens. Monthly. Right now we're putting in a hanging man. It looks like a bearish retracement hanging man. You can see the breakdown, the bearish retracement, and then the back off. And then now it's making a hanging man. See how that works out for the month. Moving on to S&P. You can see the nice candle working on the weekly for the day. You can see the crashing. Now we're below the 34. Pretty bad days there. Let's see. Looks like somewhere along the line we have a double bottom hammer. See if we can find a hammer somewhere. Well, we got a W. See the W. Bullish pattern. Working off a double bottom. So we'll see what happens to the S&P for the next few. It's a 60-minute chart. Back to the 5-hour. Usually somewhere in a time frame you probably find a hammer associated with these two candles. So see what happens. Looks like it wanted to go through, got topped out, and for now looks like an inverted hammer off the 5-hour. We got a double bottom and inverted hammer. See what happens. Let's just look at the 30-minute, see if we can find anything. Still a double. No, can't find any hammers. I need a special program to find a specific time frame to find that. See if we can find a hammer. But that's a bullish pattern. Onto the Dow. Oh, excuse me. Back to S&P longer term. You can see that tall wick as it busted through the double top and came back through closing last week, making that long wick pointing upwards. Exhaustion move. That's what that is. Below the 8 on a weekly so far. So see how the week closes out, but it bounced off the EMA 13. See See if we can find any kind of continuation. And let's look for previous low breaks. 2060 on down, making the only line of support back down to 2020. See what happens for the longer term. It's only Tuesday, tomorrow, Wednesday. See what happens. Same with the Dow, pretty nasty. You got a 2-bar pattern. That's a reversal bar, 2-bar pattern. Below the 34, let's look for a bearish retracement, then a knockout. See if it'll continue down. Moving onward, longer term weekly. See if we can get below the lower highs. We got a falling star there on a weekly last week, so look for more downturn. We got support at previous lows, 17.5, 17.30, the SMA 34. And if we get down there, then we can call that whole thing a whipsaw. But so far, it came across that trend line, bounced back, and now it's trying to get back to it. But we'll see if it breaks through this time. It is summer, and it should be coming down somewhere, but nothing of that has happened yet. Selling may go away, kind of a bull. Hasn't happened. So far in the monthly, it's hanging in there. Let's look at Deutsche Bank. It's kind of breaking through. Yesterday, it's down another 45 cents. Last line of defense came up right to it. So looking at a longer term, this is a weekly. Looking on a longer term and see where we're at. Previous lows is here. It's already below the previous lows. And it's on the brink of falling apart. Lots of reversal bars in here. Bottom reversal bars, but nothing so far. None of them have been confirmed. And even this hammer is going to be knocked out. So, pretty nasty. Lots of people think that Deutsche Bank is going to be the catalyst for the market crash. So, keep an eye on this one. Crude keeps coming down, but right now it's right at support on a daily. Let's go. You got that nasty double top. Broke the previous double top. On down. Breaking previous lows. Next stop. Looks like in and around between 46.50 and 46 even. So might have some cheaper gas prices here pretty soon. You can see the retracement starting. You can see last week, nasty falling star there. So look for lower prices. We got support at 46.90, breaking in previous highs at 45, in on down to 40. Look for a bullish retracement on crude to continue. See if it finds support first and moves higher. But it's likely to do a nice bullish retracement, which should be healthy for that market. but so that could be another catalyst for markets crashing. Going on to silver and gold. What I'm looking at is maybe a retracement, healthier retracement after this huge bounce. But we got support at the EMA 8 is at 1260. We're still above the 1280. I'd like to stay up there for as long as possible, at least for the weekly close. That would be awesome. That way it can gather its legs for the next week. But it just looks pretty toppy on that reversal bar there. Look for previous low breaks below that reversal bar here. I think that's the gravestone doji. It's a 5-hour chart. Look for anything below that, confirming that gravestone doji. And then we also have the hanging man, which anything below that, 1280. But that might be construed as a hammer right off that support, though. 1280 was the support, so it came down, knocked it out in the hammer. Not sure. Previous high breaks is at 1290. 1290 will get us 13. Pretty nice. But it just looks toppy on that daily as we open up for the next day down. No indication of reversal bars on the weekly. And as we very well know, the monthly is that huge bullish retracement. And we got previous high breaks coming soon if it can get a kick in the butt from Janet Yellen. I mean, that's a nice looking chart for monthly gold. This thing's going to break out sooner or later. Might be tough to get through those previous highs, but previous highs and the previous lows all up in here, all the way up to 1400, right? You can see the previous high at 1400. Previous lows at 1320. All the way up resistance, but after we break 14, I mean, it's pretty much a go to 16 almost, you know. Actually, I think 1525 is the previous lows. I think the measured move was 1475. That was my first target on gold. But it's on the verge. It's just not ready yet, I don't think. It just doesn't feel... Everything's kind of stalled. Especially in the miners. Silver, same thing. Look for some kind of a bullish retracement back to support. The EMA 8. Let's look at the lower term here. You got a reversal bar there. Another exhaustion, just like gold. That's that head fake. That's falling star. We need to stay above previous highs. 1740. So it's right there. It's on the brink. It looks a little rounded. It looks a little toppy. Look for coming down into support for the rest of the week. I don't know. Just doesn't feel any bullishness out there. For the week, it's trying to stay above previous week's high. And it really hasn't done anything all week so far. So we'll see what happens. See if we can get one good day out of this thing this week. See what happens. Monthly, as we all very well know, we're not above our 34 like gold. Gold is awesome because it consolidated above the 34 on the weekly. Our previous highs is 18. We're only 20 cents away. This thing can just pick up and leave and jump out. I mean, I forget what the measured move is from the 14, let's call it 14 to 18, it's $4, that's 22. Probably get up to these previous highs over here. That's a measured move on silver on a monthly chart. Could take a few months to get there, but that's the move. It's got to break in all these previous lows first. That's why we're getting the little stutter steps. But we've got a nice breakout, bullish retracement, and now it's coming back. But it can do this for a while, you know, monthly chart. So see what happens. Let's jump to GDX and GDXJ. One thing I want to say that I'm sorry about and I messed up and I knew better, I just didn't catch myself until later on, was that pattern, the megaphone, is not bullish. It is a top pattern and it is a bearish pattern. Should have known better, just didn't catch myself. But as we sit right now, we did fill that gap. So again, both on GDXJ and GDX, I think Nugget had a megaphone. There are a lot of them that had it. Consistent patterns out there. But anyway, sorry about that. I'm allowed to make mistakes. I don't rehearse anything, so I think I just got mixed up with a different pattern. Anywho's, let's see. So anyways, we bounced off the 8, filled the gap. Whether or not we fill this other gap, I don't know. But what I'm seeing on the daily chart is kind of a reverse head and shoulders. And I'm hoping that this is going to jump up tomorrow and complete a right shoulder on a reverse head and shoulders off a daily. Weekly, you can see the lower high. So we're going to have to take that out someday. So it might be bearish and take out that previous gap. Where is that previous gap on the daily? Starts at 24 down to 23. Back to the weekly. Where's the 8? Right at 24. And the EMA 13 is at the gap. So the gap is in between there. Hopefully we don't do that. I was hoping for a 1-2 punch on this bad boy, as the monthly is very strong. Just like gold and silver. You can see that pattern right across the 34. Boom. Bullish retracement. Boom. It tried to break, and there's our head fake. As I said, they break it out, and then the big buyers sit on the bid and bring it all the way back. And hopefully on GDX, that filling the gap is going to be the end of it. And also witnessing for the month of the EMA 8 and the 13 are almost crossing. So as I always state, as they cross, look for price to come down to meet it. I don't know if it'll go all the way down, but certainly the EMA 8 is crossing as we speak. Same thing with GDXJ. Same. Sorry, screwed up on that pattern. I knew better. It's a broadening top pattern, not a bullish top pattern. So still working with the lower high for the week. See if we can get this thing pumping. It's not in the week with a lower high. Same monthly. You can see the break and the retracement back in. So we're still bullish. We're still above previous high. Still bullish on a monthly. Incredibly bullish, but just don't know what Yellen's going to say. I don't know about anything else. Look for previous high breaks and watch for the daily to fill that gap. as it did on the daily first gap, but whether or not it fills this other gap can't be for sure yet. We've got to stay above that 8, and that gap right there is support. So another one I screwed up on is El Dorado. I was thinking this was going to bounce off that daily, but it just crashed right through it. It is at support now. Definitely watching this one. I don't own any of these, but I sure would like to one of these days as it churns, or if a nice reversal bar happens, and take the previous high break and take a ride. We are working from a double top, higher low, filled the gap, and I thought it was going to stop, but it didn't. Kept going. So that's why I'm worried about GDXJ and GDX. Don't know where it's going. Not yet. It's always a guessing game in the middle of the patterns. Cliffs, resources, Cleveland Cliffs resources. Had a good run there, but now it's retracing, and it's below the EMA 8. It doesn't look like it's finished bouncing from the good run it had. So look for a retracement back down to the 8 somewhere, which would be nice pickup. Whether or not this wants to fill the gap either, I don't know. But that sure was a nice run from that 3-bar pattern, Evening Star. And inverted hammer right after it. And you can say that's a bullish harami too right here. Lots of bullishness on that bottom. Don't know if it's going to come down to all the way to 4 or not, but we are working off of a lower high. So we'll see. Yamana, trying to find a bottom on this. Always like trading this one, but don't know where the bottom is yet. All I see is continuation. We got support, final line of support on the daily is 465. Weekly, you can see the breakout and the pullback. I don't know how far they're going to pull it back. It's definitely bullish still for the long term. As the long term hasn't reached over the 34, but it certainly tapped it and backed off right away. That was that breakout. And then they brought it back. So in other words, it got rejected on the long term. But we need to close above previous high on a weekly, which is in around 5. So let's see what we can get up there. Nugget, same thing. That's that megaphone top pattern, which is bearish, not bullish. There you go. Definitely filled the gap. Bounced off the EMA 13, but we got another gap working. Not sure what's going to happen. What's Yellen going to say? She raises rates and crashes the market, then yeah, I don't think it's going to fill that gap. But we'll see. Long term, I can't get a good chart on long term. But anyways, it's a good looking chart on a long term if you have another charting program. Let's see, I got support at 94, which is the previous low. Previous high is at 92. We've got previous lows for support at 86. So we'll see what happens. Those EMAs are EMA 8 and 13 are pretty nice to just look at where support is, because it's concentrating on previous lows, previous highs, and the such. So always stay above support. EMA 8, very handy. That's it, guys. Sorry for the mix-up. But see where we are. Dollar is still doing its thing. Gold, silver. Looks like we opened down on both. So be careful out there. I believe the Fed meeting is very soon. I can't remember when. Or it already happened. I don't even know. I'm so busy. Thanks for all your donations. Appreciate all your comments. And keep sharing, keep liking. Wouldn't do it without you guys. So thanks a lot. See ya.